Growing a giant pumpkin in a container might sound like an impossible challenge, but with the right approach, you can harvest a massive, prize-worthy pumpkin even in small spaces. Whether you're an urban gardener or simply want to test your skills, this guide will walk you through every step, from selecting the right variety to harvesting a pumpkin that will turn heads. Let's dig in and unlock the secrets to container-grown giant pumpkins. Not all pumpkins are created equal when it comes to size. If you're aiming for a giant, you need a variety known for its massive growth potential. The best options include Atlantic Giant, Big Macs, and Prize Winner. These varieties have genetics that allow them to grow to enormous sizes, even in a container, provided you give them the right care and nutrients. When selecting seeds, opt for those from reputable suppliers who specialize in giant pumpkins. Some growers even track the lineage of seeds from record-breaking pumpkins, which can give you a genetic edge in achieving great results. Growing a giant pumpkin in a container means you need a serious pot. This is not a plant that will thrive in a standard garden pot. You'll need at least a 50 to 100 gallon container, preferably a half whiskey barrel, large fabric grow bag, or a heavy-duty plastic tub with drainage holes. The more room you can provide, the better. A deep, wide container allows for extensive root development, which is essential for feeding a giant pumpkin. If space allows, consider an above-ground raised bed that mimics a large container but gives the plant even more room to stretch its roots. The foundation of a successful giant pumpkin lies in the soil. Regular potting mix won't cut it. You need a rich, well-draining, but moisture-retaining soil that can support rapid growth. Start with a high-quality organic compost or a soil mix that is high in organic matter. A blend of loamy garden soil, well-aged compost, worm castings, and coconut coir works wonders. Adding a bit of sand or perlite can improve drainage while retaining the necessary moisture. Pumpkins are heavy feeders, so supercharging the soil with amendments like bone meal, blood meal, kelp meal, and aged manure will ensure a steady supply of nutrients. Before planting, mix in slow-release organic fertilizer to support the long-term growth of your pumpkin. While you can start your pumpkin directly in the container, starting seeds indoors in biodegradable pots gives them a strong head start, especially if you're in a cooler climate. Once your seedling has at least 2 sets of true leaves and the outdoor temperatures remain above 60 degrees Fahrenheit or 15 degrees Celsius, transplant it into your prepared container. Position the plant so it has room to spread. Even in a container, giant pumpkins need space, so place the container in an area where vines can spill over onto a patio, trellis, or nearby garden bed. Pumpkins are thirsty plants, and a giant pumpkin needs a consistent supply of water to keep up with its rapid growth. However, overwatering can lead to root rot, so striking the right balance is crucial. Water deeply every morning to keep the soil evenly moist but not soggy. Using a layer of mulch, such as straw, shredded leaves, or grass clippings, helps retain moisture and regulate soil temperature. Because giant pumpkins grow so fast, they require a lot of food. A combination of organic and liquid fertilizers will keep them well fed throughout the growing season. In the early stages, focus on nitrogen-rich fertilizers like fish emulsion or compost tea to encourage leafy growth. Once the vines are established and flowers appear, shift to a high-phosphorus fertilizer, such as bat guano or bone meal, to support flowering and fruit development. Once the pumpkin sets, potassium-rich fertilizers like seaweed extract or wood ash will help with fruit swelling and overall health. Feeding your pumpkin weekly with diluted liquid fertilizer ensures it gets all the necessary nutrients. To get a giant pumpkin, you need successful pollination. Hand-pollinating the flowers increases your chances of getting a strong fruit. Once pumpkins start forming, select the strongest, healthiest one and remove the others. This allows all of the plant's energy to focus on growing one massive pumpkin. Because your pumpkin will be growing in a confined space, supporting it properly ensures it doesn't become misshapen or damaged. As the pumpkin gains size, gently rotate it every few days to encourage even growth, but do this carefully to avoid stressing the vine. Giant pumpkins are prone to pests like squash vine borers, aphids, and powdery mildew. Keeping your plant healthy and resilient is the best way to ward off issues. Regularly inspect leaves and vines for signs of pests, and use neem oil or insecticidal soap if necessary. Keeping the area around your container clean and free from decaying plant matter minimizes the risk of fungal diseases. For powdery mildew, spray a mixture of milk and water in a 1:9 ratio on the leaves every couple of weeks to prevent fungal growth. Good air circulation also helps keep diseases at bay. After months of careful tending, your giant pumpkin will be ready for harvest. Most giant varieties take 100 to 120 days to fully mature. Use a sharp knife or pruning shears to cut the stem, leaving at least 4 inches attached. Allow the pumpkin to cure in a sunny location for a couple of weeks to further harden the skin before displaying it. Growing a giant pumpkin in a container may require some extra care, but it's an incredibly rewarding experience. With the right variety, a large enough container, nutrient-rich soil, proper watering, and vigilant care, you can produce a massive pumpkin that will amaze your friends and family. If you enjoyed this guide, subscribe to Botanical Bliss on YouTube for more expert gardening tips. Share this with fellow gardeners and start your own giant pumpkin growing challenge today.